Welcome. Myself Prakash, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ayurveda College of Engineering, Madurai. I am going to present on topic of environmental and sustainability on additive manufacturing with its case studies. For International FDB on environmental and sustainability conducted by DYB Patil College of Engineering, Agrodi, with sponsored by UNESCO Chair on Open Technologies, Open Education for a Better World. So this is my progress. Week 1 I created the video related to what is meant by prototype, how we can fabricate the prototype, what is meant by additive manufacturing and its types, process chain, materials and then plastic and its effects. In week 2 I create the video related to applications and the future scope of additive manufacturing, ASTM standards for additive manufacturing. So now this is my week 4 video. My outcome is to be, after learning through video, students will explain the fundamental of additive manufacturing, benefits and the future scope, articulate different ASTM standards such as design, material and the progress for AM, calculate carbon footprint for two different structures fabricated by fusion deposition modeling with the case study, demonstrate the sustainability calculation of AM using manual method and D4E tool. So I have 4 course outcome. At the end of this video lectures, you can able to satisfy the 4 course outcomes. So I begin with first course outcome: fundamentals of additive manufacturing, benefits and future scope. Additive manufacturing is a group of technologies. Technique is to quickly fabricate a scale model of physical part or assembly using 3-dimensional computer design. So we need a 3D object, 3D data. If we have a 3D data, we can fabricate the component. AM broadly classified the 3 ways in terms of initial form of raw material. Solid-based RP system replaces solid as the primary medium. One of the example for solid-based RP is fusion deposition modeling. We can say FDM. So fusion deposition modeling, FDM. Types of AM: solid-based RP. Method of AM: extrusion process. Material, we use APS plastics. So plastics, we know that one of the environmental problem, the plastics have environmental problems. Applications: automobile, aero industries, etc. There are so many applications for additive manufacturing. So now I am going to concentrate only fusion deposition modeling with a plastic material. So fusion deposition modeling, as I said, plastics is used as a raw material. So despite of use of plastics, there are environmental and health hazards associated with the disposal. So we need to follow 3 R's. One is reuse, reduce and then recycle. These are the sustainability of plastics. So from this image you can observe that the AM application and future scope. So these are some of the factors, applications. So in every application, if you took any application, it will keep on increasing. The use of additive manufacturing is keep on increasing. This chart represents the comparison between traditional machining and then additive manufacturing in terms of environmental dimension, economic dimension and then social dimensions. This shows a specific energy consumption is keep on increasing for additive manufacturing. So additive manufacturing is not a new one, it's a growing one. So there are so many components are fabricated by using additive manufacturing. So energy consumption is increased. So we need to focus how we can reduce the energy consumption. So this is my first outcome. So and we will go second outcome: articulate different ASTM standards such as design, materials and the process for AM. So in this module we are going to discuss about standards. So I took ASTM standards. ASTM standards are intended to promote knowledge of the industry, help simulate research and encourage the implementation of technology. So first we are going to discuss with design standards. So these are the designation F341319. This is a examples. Purpose. The purpose is guide for additive manufacturing, design, direct energy deposition. Similarly, design powder bed deposition, we have a ISO ASTM 529111119. So we have so many standards we have. Okay. The next one, materials. These are the mainly we focus. So for example, F292414, it provides a standard for titanium 6L4V material for using powder bed deposition. Similarly, if you want to use some metal powders, characteristic properties of metal powders, they defined F304914. So these are some of the examples for material standards. Again, this is also the examples for material standards. The ISO ASTM 290116, it provides the standards for general principles and the purchased AM parts. F33018, it provides the standard specification for titanium alloy for powder bed deposition. These are the some of the standards for materials. So again, not only design as well as material, ASTM has many standards for additive manufacturing. Example, 3D image standards, additive manufacturing standards, metal standards, analytical chemistry standards, cast iron standards. These are the some of the examples. There are plenty of standards we have. So now we go to our third outcome. We calculate the carbon footprint for two different structures fabricated by fusion deposition molding. So I want to say one thing. Additive manufacturing has growing industry, but there is minimum research for carbon footprint calculation. So I'm using this presentation only for reference journal paper. So for example, carbon footprint calculation for our home, it is calculated very easily how we use with the emission factor. For example, we have electricity, natural gas. We use electricity in our home, natural gas, fuel oil, LPG, waste, and then water. So if you want to calculate carbon footprint for your home, you need to calculate how much use you used for per year electricity, emission factor how much. If you multiply this both, you can get the electricity carbon footprint. Similarly, if you calculate all those things, if you summing up, we can get carbon footprint calculation for our home. The same way we are going to do for additive manufacturing. So before begin carbon footprint calculation for additive manufacturing, I want to acknowledge. So I am explain the carbon footprint calculation for AM with the help of this journal. Subramanian Senthilkumaran Muthu and Selvani Monica Makesh. Both the authors are wrote one paper, Carbon Footprint Assessment of Additive Manufacturing, Flat and Curved Layer by Layer Approaches. It is published in Springer. I need to acknowledge this one. I want to acknowledge this one. So first thing, carbon footprint calculation for AM. This is the process. It is a support material and then part material. Both are combined and then we can get the final component. So we need, in definition itself we saw additive manufacturing needs 3D data. So we have a 3D data. The 3D data, it may be the planar data, or it may be a curved layer data. We can print. In order to print, we need to some properties we need to limit it. That one is a printing time and the filament length recording. Similarly, we need to concentrate on voltage, electrical current recordings. Both the factors are contributing for printing process. So after that, we will calculate some weighting and the energy calculations. So first, they do two type of structures. One is to planar layer FDM. The second one is CLFDM. CLFDM stands for curved layer fusion deposition molding. These are some of the parameter we fixed. Fill gap 0.7, fill and time at 179, nozzle dia, layer thickness. From that table, you can observe that both the factors are be a constant one, common to both planar as well as curved layer. The second table, it shows the weight and samples of corresponding supports. So in flat layer or curved layer, sample they took 4.82 gram, material waste 0.65, total material consumption in terms of gram 6.035. These are some of the calculation. So they calculated total material consumption for different structures. So how they calculate energy? Total energy we need to calculate. So we know that generally energy is the product of voltage, loop current, and then printing time. Continuing time is not the printing time. So voltage, current, and then printing time. The product of these three we say is the energy. So first we will calculate nozzle energy. It is represented as the En. So En stands for voltage supplied to the nozzle, I stands for electrical current, T stands for printing time. Similarly, we calculate printer energy consumed per printer. The formula is the same one, but it's a different terminology. U stands for voltage for printing, current, electric current for printing, and then printing time for printing. So these are the EB. So after we calculate En, energy consumed by nozzle, energy consumed by printer, the summation of these two we say total energy. So total energy is nothing but En plus EP. So this way they calculated for total energy calculation. So the next they are doing carbon footprint assessment. The goal of this product carbon footprint PCF is to calculate the potential contribution of chosen product produced by two different AM technologies to global warming expressed as a grams or kilograms of CO2, etc. By quantifying all significant CH greenhouse gas emission and removals over product life. As we know, ISO TS 14067 2013, they defined that greenhouse gases carbon footprint of products requirements and guidelines. They defined for quantification and communication. We need to follow these standards. So carbon footprint assessment is calculated by this formula. It is a summation of carbon footprint of the raw material storage is nothing but CFRM. Carbon footprint of the manufacturing stage it is nothing but CFM. Carbon footprint of distribution stage nothing but CFD. Carbon footprint of use stage nothing but CFU. Carbon footprint of end of life stage CF. So summation of this 3-5 we say carbon footprint. In this way we calculated. So they mentioned the sample weight, build time, power, material wastage, material consumption, efficiency, total material consumption. They use APS. So we know that APS is one of the plastic material. From that they calculated flat layer and then curved layer process, material consumption as well as electricity. So they compare in terms of structure, flat layer, curved layer by layer. So from that they can calculate carbon. The same way we need to calculate carbon footprint for additive manufacturing. So now we are going to our fourth course outcome is nothing but demonstration and sustainability calculation for AM using manual method and DF4E method tool. This module we are planning to demonstrate sustainability calculation with the help of manual as well as software calculation. So software we use D4U component tool. So first, so here I need to acknowledge three journal papers. The first one, To, Panko, Carol, Kalamu, they wrote one paper, Sustainability of Additive Manufacturing, an overview on its energy demand and environmental impact. It is a science track paper 2018 year. So from this image you can observe that the timeline of sustained manufacturing milestones. So for example 1972 UN Declaration of Human Environment they declared. So 1980 Sustainable Development first appears in World Conservation Strategy, so that they keep on every year they will update the sustainable manufacturing. So first phase it comes with 2000. In the year 2000 sustainable manufacturing first appears. 2002 3R, we already saw that plastics 3R, they introduced 3R concept and then they defined some IS standards in the year of 2006. So 2020 still is going on. So this figure it shows that sustainability of additive manufacturing, there are three main factors. The one is to be economy and then environment, another one is a society. So economy we need to do material evolution, novel application, supply chain management, production cost and then various other costs like material, machinery, all those things. In the environment there are so many factors involved in this: material demands, process energy, life cycle energy, waste management, pollution control. These are some of the factors for environment. The final one, society, it's a societal benefits. So I said that the future scope of additive manufacturing is the increasing one. So society needs more additive manufacturing products. So we need to more focus on additive manufacturing. Labor development, product quality, public acceptance. These are some of the ethics. These are some of the factors for society. So next time I acknowledge this paper, Dominic Fratino and Horito Rotaro, additive manufacturing, sustainable manufacturing route. From this paper we can observe that how we need to calculate sustainability in manual way. So sustainability assessment indicator is calculated by this below equation. SI equal to, SI stands for sustainability indicator. It's a summation of contribution of electrical energy consumption, contribution of material consumption, contribution of fluid used, contribution of waste. So these are the factors we need to we need to sum and then we can get sustainability indicator. So the four things are calculated by above the below formula. CE stands for contribution of electric energy consumption calculated by FCHE minus ECR. ECR stands for energy consumption rate. This is also calculated by B by BB. Okay. Similarly, the section CM, it is calculated by use of with this formula. Here all the terminals are indicated here. CM is calculated by this formula. Nozzle efficiency as well as weighted factor and then powder flow rate. These are some of the factors we need to calculate. The last one, CF, stands for fluid wastage. So fluid, so TS plus DF, gas flow. DC stands for carrying class flow, DF protecting gas flow. So the above formulas are used for manual calculation of sustainability in the field of additive manufacturing. The next we are going to do, we will discuss about software. So sustainability calculation is done by manual as well as software usage. It is one of the tool is a computational tool called Design for Environment, D4U, Design for Environment. From this tool we can perform life cycle assessment during the product development cycle. The tool based on its eco design principles can be easily adapted to all product design practices within industry environment. So here we are going to discuss how additive manufacturing uses this tool. Okay, so D4U system uses a life cycle assessment (LCA) approach to evaluate the environmental impact of the product, supporting design making, and it enables to quantify all inputs and outputs in a qualitative and quantitative way at all life cycle. So these life cycle phases can be described as pre-production and production, distribution, consumption, and disposal. So how we calculate? These are the flow chart D4U. So we need to life cycle assessment evaluation done by the product definition or product definition, and then we will produce the product, and then we will use that product, we will dispose that product. What are the impacts, environmental impacts, if we dispose the product? If it is optimized, yes, then the life cycle limit is terminated, it's the close one. If it is a no one, we need to again recirculate, we need to define the product again. So again, it is a production, it is based on material, it's a energy transportation, it's a production end life. These are the sustainability calculation flow chart, D4U tool. The first thing, these are the screenshots for that D4U tool. So here we use life cycle window, the reference data are plotted here. Production window, here we need to mention the quantity, how many metal, which kind of metal we use. Here we say APS, what are the mass, and then score. These are some of the factors we need to upload, we need to enter. The third one is a definition of the use stage, how we use the stage we can use. Disposal of window, how we dispose. Okay, so these are the main. First one is to be a reference. Second one, production data, how we produce the component, production data. The third one, it should be a usage data. Fourth one, disposal data. So as we saw that in the flow chart, the same way, production data, use data, and then disposal data. The four data are entered here. After that, we can get this kind of analysis, how the environment life cycles, how much production, carbon, sustainability, how much. These are the factors we can easily calculate. So we can also calculate the variation between angular, how we environmental weight, material weightages, material impact, as well as environmental impact. So finally, I want to conclude additive manufacturing is a novel paradigm for engineering, design, and manufacturing, which has profound economic, environmental, and security implications. Lots of innovation in recycling of waste plastics have been introduced. So APS we need to recycle, and then we can produce the component. Only limited quantity data are available how AI manufactured products compare with conventional manufacturing one in terms of energy as well as material consumption. So this is a new research field. We must focus the research. So reported research indicates that specific energy of current AM system is higher compared to the conventional manufacturing process. So we need to more focus. So these are my reference. Based on this reference only, I created this video. So Subramanian, Senthil Madan, and then Dominica Fratino, Procost. These are some of the website ASTM standards as well as